thank you everyone for coming tonight. Sorry we're starting a little bit late. Parking was a bit of an issue. We had a lot more people come out than we were expecting. But I just want to thank everyone for being here today. It really means a lot to our family to have so many friends here show their support, love, and kindness, especially for these past couple of weeks. And I'm just really proud to be Faye's son, because when I look around, I can see all the lives she touched with her warmth, love, and kindness, and to see the positive impact that she left on all of us. It's not as cold as I was hoping. It's still kind of hot and humid, so we'll try to keep things moving, keep things brief, so that way we can all get back inside. To the air conditioning, there's food and refreshments, so we'll just try to keep things as short as possible so we don't have to suffer any longer in the humidity out here. So to start off tonight, Homeshine would like to perform a rendition of You Raise Me Up. So now some of her friends would like to say a few words, and we'll start off with some of my friends' parents. It's weird calling them by their first names, but Ty, Karen, and Renee, we've known them for a while, swimming on NCAP, and they're just great friends, so we'd like to have them come up.
Faye was our very dear friend. We all met in the bleachers, chatting during swim practices and meets. And I guess what drew us to Faye was she was always the friendly face in the crowd. She had a warm smile, and no matter how little space there was in the stands, she always made room for anyone who needed to join us. And it just seemed like we shared so many things talking in the stands, and over the years we decided when our boys were on different teams, we weren't at the same meets very often, and we decided to start meeting for lunch, and about every month or so we'd meet for lunch and just talk about our families and how everyone was doing. And I have some of my fondest memories is when NCAP traveled down to Richmond, and Faye said, "Oh, we all have to go," and so there were several families, and the kids went on the bus, and the parents went, and we all stayed at the hotel that Faye booked, and she had found all the great restaurants we should go to, like Peter Chang's. And it was such a wonderful, wonderful trip. And I guess my other memory is that we were both high school swim reps for the teams, and we worked so hard through the season, but we looked forward to the regional meet. It was the slowest meet, nobody had good times, but Faye and I didn't have to do anything. We always saved seats for each other right at the back of MLK, right under the air vents, and we could lean back and just be glad that the season was almost over. And the last time I saw her, Renee and I met her for lunch, beginning of May, and we shared pictures and chatted, and I'm so thankful that the last thing I did was give her a big hug. And she was just such a dear, dear friend. I just will almost miss seeing that beautiful smile.
So, yes, like everybody else, I felt an immediate connection to Faye when we met 4 years ago. And the warmth, energy, and spirit led the way to one of my most treasured friendships. I just loved chatting with her in the pool lobby, where we'd talk about everything and anything. And she had this expansive knowledge. I mean, she was just full of information. And she offered it sincerely and intended it to be shared. And boy, would she share, right? She would share coupons, delicious foods, travel tips, meet details, college stats and deadlines, books. And then, she had one of the things that especially I treasure are cautionary tales about parenting. And especially the one that ended with listen to your child without judging, so he will be able to feel comfortable being honest with you. And avoid angry feelings because they take time away from happiness with the family. And she was a truly generous friend. And my life is so much richer for it. She means her so much.
Well, I try to talk and not cry, but I think it's hard. So, yeah. So we are all stream of families. Our kids grew up together, basically. The kids bond in the pool, and the parents bond by the pool. We spend countless hours together. Kids swimming hard in the pool, parents checking hard on the back. So the first time, something happened like this. It just brings all my memory back. The first time I met Faye was in the Rockville swim pool, and I had no idea who Jean was or Faye was. All I know is there was such an energetic lady was running up and down the pool, and Jean and Faye were the first one actually organized the first ever Chinese student meet. There's not Montgomery County swimming is very popular activities, but that was the first Chinese only swimming. So, I mean, it's not easy. To run a swimming, you need officials, you need timer, everybody. But Jean and Faye, they took the initiative, and that was a lot of work, and they make it happen. And Faye is such person, you know, everybody met her without miss. She left such impression in your mind. And I didn't know who she was until, I recognized her, and I said, okay. But until several years later, we united because of the NCAP. My kids used to be swimming with a Rockville's team, and then we moved to NCAP, and then there was Faye. And then I went home to my husband. I remember that lady. Many years ago, she was running up and down the pool, and she was in the pool. She was really serious and really in charge, you know? And then that's how it goes. Then we spend hours and years together because our kids are in the same swim team. And then she's such a warm person. She has such a bright smile. And she just wants to help. You wouldn't believe it. It's just, our kids swim in the year-round team as well as a summer team. And I have a hard time to juggle between pools. Faye was the one, without me even asking. She offered to help. She said, I can bring Barker to the Upper County pool. If they make it a lot easier, I said, sure, that's a big help. She not just bring Barker to the pool, she also fed him. She brought Robert, Andrew, and Barker to McDonald's, and then they have a McMuffin after the team practice, and then they went to the second practice at the summer team. And all the fun memories we shared during the summer too. Every Saturday, we were always there. Jean is always officiating. And Faye will be always taking care of the hospitality. She always had watermelon and all the food, and with her bright smile for everybody. That was just so nice to share all those time and days with Faye and Jean on the deck. And because of their bonding, then we start to have more personal interactions. We get together, a picnic together, and share the family stories and all these things. So, yeah. So what I'm going to say is, she's forever in our heart. Yes. Yes, always. Yes.
So now we'll have Becky Owen from where my mom worked at the FDA come up and say a few words.
Hi everyone. My name is Becky Owen, and I was Faye's supervisor at the FDA Center for Veterinary Medicine. And I'm very honored to speak tonight on behalf of all of Faye's work colleagues. Faye came to CVM in 2004 as a review chemist in the Division of Manufacturing Technologies. She was one of the first people that I met when I started at CVM the following year, and she helped train me to become a reviewer. So we were co-workers and friends for over 13 years. And at work, Faye always had such a positive attitude, and she was always prepared, and she always had her work done, not just on time, but ahead of the deadline, which I really appreciated once I became her supervisor. They made many important contributions to CVM over the years. She was involved in the review of numerous animal drugs, helping to bring safe and effective and high-quality products to the market. She was a member of the Pharmaceutical Inspectorate Level 3 Certification Board, so she designed and implemented training for FDA field investigators. She participated in division and office-level working groups, and she helped to author division SOPs and training manuals that will continue to aid all of the other reviewers in doing their jobs. So she left a real legacy at work. But I think the number one thing that comes to mind when all of Faye's coworkers remember her is how much she loved and was proud of her family. Faye was always so open about sharing what was going on in her life, whether it was a family vacation or a trip to China to visit her dad, or especially news about her boys. Andrew and Robert, most of your mom's coworkers, they feel like they know you, even the ones that have never met you. They all anxiously awaited to hear how you did at a swim meet or on a big test and to find out what colleges you would choose. I hope that you know how proud she was of you. Not just of your accomplishments, but of the young men that you've become and the lives that you've chosen to lead. More recently, though, Andrew and Robert had to share the spotlight with Faye's dog, Luna. I was pretty shocked when I heard that Faye got a dog, because for as long as I had known her, she was afraid of dogs. So much so that she would skip our work picnic every year because she knew that people would bring their dogs to the event. So it was really wonderful to watch Faye not just get over her fear of dogs, but fall completely in love with Luna. And Faye's stories about Luna always kept us entertained, whether they were about Luna chewing up the couch and the curtains, or finally learning not to chew up the couch and the curtains. Faye was also genuinely interested in hearing about what was happening in other people's lives too. She wanted to know about everybody else's kids and pets and vacations. I have a nephew who's about Robert's age, and Faye met him a few times when he came to the office with me when he was a little boy, and she always kept up with him over the years, asking to see pictures and wondering how he was doing in school and in sports. And it just meant a lot to me that she was so interested and caring to keep up with what was going on in my life too. No matter how much you like the work that you do, it's the people around you that really make your job enjoyable. Faye was just one of those people that you looked forward to seeing and talking to. She took so much joy in her life and her family. Faye, all of us at CPM love you and miss you so very much. We're sad that you had to leave us so soon. Thank you.
Okay, and finally we'll have Jen Taylor from the Upper County Dolphin Swim Team come up.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Taylor, and I had the pleasure of welcoming Faye and her family to the Upper County Dolphin Swim Team in the summer of 2011. I'd been coaching the team for 15 years and was thrilled at the prospect of Andrew and Robert joining our team. I'd seen them swim and knew they had a competitive spirit that would be a wonderful addition to our team. But what I was unaware of was how much the Chan family would bring to our summer family, Faye in particular. What stood out first and foremost in my mind when I met Faye was her obvious love for her family. Faye and Jin had a true love affair. They would often appear on the pool deck hand in hand, and it was rare to see Jin without Faye or Faye without Jin. But Faye's greatest accomplishments and her greatest source of joy were her boys, Andrew and Robert. They were a tight-knit family who supported one another in everything that they did. Faye and Jin accompanied the boys to all of our pep rallies, post-meet luncheons, and various swim team activities. Faye was incredibly proud of Andrew and Robert's achievements both inside and outside of the pool. Both boys displayed a fierce competitiveness during the race, but showed wonderful sportsmanship afterwards, whether they were on the winning or losing end of that particular race. Outside of the pool, Andrew and Robert were even more successful, growing into intelligent, compassionate, kind, and hardworking young men. All of these traits are a true testament to the example Faye and Jin set for them. Faye was one of those mothers who jumped feet first into whatever her boys were involved in. For those of you who don't know much about summer swimming, it is the parents and their volunteer efforts that make or break a swim team. It was because of moms like Faye that our swim team was so successful and such a family affair. Faye could be counted on to volunteer for any position, no matter how big or small, demanding or easy. The range of positions she volunteered for speaks volumes about her commitment to her boys and the team. Faye was a ribbon writer, clerk of course, volunteer check-in, concession shopper, and hospitality volunteer. She graciously agreed to help with whatever task was needed to be filled, always wanting to support the team that meant so much to her boys. In addition to these efforts, Faye could always be counted on to bring spirit and cheer on the Dolphins. I'm confident Andrew and Robert got their spirit and their spunk from their mother. Whether it was Andrew or Robert in the water or some other UC Dolphin, Faye could be found at the edge of the pool cheering them on, almost willing them to swim faster. I am so thankful that I had the opportunity to welcome Faye, Jim, Andrew, and Robert into our summer family. I'm grateful for the love, time, and attention they gave to our team, but more importantly, I'm thankful for the two amazing boys that she has been raised. Andrew and Robert are her lasting legacy. The lessons they learned and the inspiration that they gave them will guide them through their own life.
Sorry about the rain. We'll have, we'll wait until everything's taken care of. Sorry about this. Okay, and now we'll have Hosea come read a poem written by YingNing Wei.
Good evening. I'm the principal of Hope Chinese School Bakersburg campus. I'm a staff at the Hope Chinese School of Bakersburg. I'm also actually a family friend. The relationship is hard to describe because Faye always want me to call her a sister, but I kept on calling her by Jin is my 师兄, so I'm calling her 师嫂, which she's not really particularly happy about.
魏怡宁老师是希望中文学校盖城校区的元老和优秀老师，他曾在全希望中文学校教师大会上介绍经验，并为其他校区教师做培训。
Faye was one of the outstanding teachers at Hope Chinese School, Bakersburg campus. Not only she provided excellent education to our students, but also had many training courses for all the Chinese teachers within the Hope Chinese School system.
他还是希望首届游泳比赛的发起人和组织者。
She was also the founder and organizer of the first Hope Cup swim meet.
他在我们学校任教多年，深受学生和老师的家长的喜爱。
Faye stayed with our school for many years and was loved and respected by our teachers, staffs, students, and parents.
我们前校长林振宇女士特地写了一首诗为魏老师送行。这首诗同样代表了我们全体师生对魏老师的怀念。接下来，我们为大家朗诵这首诗，借此代表希望中文学校全体师生和大家一起缅怀魏莹莹老师。
Our ex-principal Jenny Lin wrote a poem for Faye. The poem not only shows her own feelings, but also shows our memories of Faye. Now we're going to recite the poem to show our respect and gratitude for her.
美成永远的瞬间，你轻轻地、轻轻地走了，细雨中，刹那间，忘了告别，只留下那饱满清亮的声音，只留下那英姿飒爽的身影。
曾经是传播中文的天使啊，你纵横黑板，循循善诱， 让孩子们的怀想张开七彩翅膀。你投以桃李，报以琼瑶，让汉唐的蔚蓝在彼岸闪耀发光。曾经是游泳健儿的护航啊，你披星戴月，从不懈怠，有你的地方就有热烈的加油之声。你不惧风雨，如火如炬，让孩子们勇于挑战，在浪涛中奔腾。一直是爱意无限的母亲啊，你书写温暖、诚实和信心的乐谱，让儿郎们在幸福的旋律中成长。你笑声如铃，和爱人、家园并肩美美地站在绿茸茸的地平线上。你轻轻地走了，在天国，听说一切美好的都完整了。让风儿朗诵我的诗吧，许多许多的瞬间，可以美成永远，永远。是的，我们将永远怀念魏老师和我们在一起许许多多的美好的瞬间。魏老师，一路走好。
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Robert, Faye's youngest son. I know it's been said a lot tonight, but thank you again, everyone, for coming out and celebrating my mom's life. There's a poem that I read a few years back at a leadership conference, and I think it'd be a good piece to share today. The Dash Poem. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth, and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. In the past month, I've had to focus so much on that second date, but I don't want to do that anymore. I want to focus on my mom's dash, because I think remembering all those moments in between the start and the end is the only way I can truly celebrate her life. I've overlooked so many moments that I had with her in the past, and only now am I fully appreciating how lucky I was to have her as my mom. As a lot of you already know, my mom loves to travel.